packing his bags for Brazil. Byron Down is part of England's men's deaf futsal team, and they're heading to their first World Championships later this month. They've managed to book their spot in Sao Paulo without funding from the FA. Instead, Byron's dad Steve has had to foot the bill.
This is playing for England. It's the pinnacle. You get to hear your national anthem and it's making memories. And I don't think, especially some of Byron's deaf friends who he plays futsal with, should not have that opportunity just because of funding. You know, I'm in a fortunate position that I can help, and if it's helping him, then it's important to me.
Steve says he spent over £100,000 on the team in the past 2 years. That's after the FA withdrew its funding for the side in 2019.
I was gutted because I thought I lost all hope basically, and I just felt heartbroken. Feels like I just lost everything I trained for.
I don't think any teams at this stage of international level should be fighting to try and get fundraise or get support.
It's a different story for the women's side, who will travel to South America fully funded by the FA, fresh from their Euros win last year. The FA says it funds men's 11-a-side disability football instead of futsal and women's futsal instead of football after conversations with relevant teams and to mirror other nations' decisions for football and futsal provision. In a statement, it said, "Our decision to switch focus of the England deaf women's team from the 11-a-side format to the futsal format addresses the need for a new approach for the pathway and to ensure there are regular international opportunities for players to perform on the world stage. The funding for this activity is repurposed from 11-a-side deaf female provision and is not new investment into a futsal programme. The new focus also mirrors the decisions made by other nations who are respected in deaf international football and futsal provision, with deaf female futsal being the preferred format of the game for an increasing number of nations."
I do understand that money is tight and they can't fund everything, but the FA should look at more funding resources. They know these competitions far in advance. We knew the World Cup was going to be in November 2 years ago. So it's not a surprise. You have time to work out your funding implications. We've tried to fundraise for this trip and been very unsuccessful. Hopefully after the World Cup and we go out there and we do well, then perhaps we can change that picture for people.
And that's not the only incentive. A strong showing in the World Championships will mean qualification for the Deaf Olympics next year.
My expectations is nothing less than winning the tournament. I always have high expectations.
The team hopes a successful trip to South America will gain the attention of more funders and also add to that trophy collection. Craig Punfield, Sky Sports.